7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and go.
Good morning. Today is July 23rd, 2020 at 9 a.m. I'd like to call the meeting to order. My name is Helen Stokes. I'm a construction purchasing agent for the school district of Palm Beach County, and I'm being assisted by our documents analyst, Patricia Maroney. This selection committee meeting is being held virtually via Google Meet technology, is being broadcast live and recorded. The purpose of today's meeting is to select the top-ranking proposer to be awarded a construction management at risk contract for Sunset Palms Middle School 17 PP. We have our committee members and presenting firms joining us via Meet and our public attending via the various methods available on the district's public information website. Should we encounter technical difficulties at any time during our meeting, we will need to recess until those issues are resolved. Committee members and presenting firms, please do not leave the Google Meet. Public comments will be invited after presentations have concluded and before the committee commences to complete the final scoring process. Following completion of the presentations, a dedicated phone line will be opened for a 5-minute window for the public to offer comments relative to the content of the presentations. Virtual meeting reminders. A few reminders of proper etiquette before we begin. Please keep your microphones muted, and when not speaking, be mindful of background noises. Also, remember you and your background are visible. Video, voice, and chat comments are being recorded. Committee members, please use the chat box on your screen and be mindful, the chat box on your screen to communicate with Pat for technology problems, any other issues that may be handled without interrupting the meeting. Let us begin by introducing our committee members. I'm going to begin alphabetically by the last name. I'd like to start with Frank, please, if you'd introduce yourself.
Good morning. My name is Frank Arancibia. I'm a facility coordinator. I work for the Palm Beach County School District.
Thank you. Glenn, please.
Hi, I'm Glenn Armbruster with Facilities Construction, SPA.
Thank you. John, please.
Good morning. I'm John Cheshire. I'm the Cork representative on the committee.
Thank you, John. Patrick, please.
Good morning. My name is Patrick with the Office of Diversity.
Thank you. Aaron, please.
Good morning. My name is Aaron Howard, Facilities Construction, SPA.
Thank you. Mark, please.
Good morning. My name is Mark Lodge. I work for Building Code Services for the district as a mechanical engineer.
Thank you very much. I'd like to announce that we have a quorum of members present. Next, we'll record attendance of our first firm presenting, Hedrick Brothers Construction. Please identify yourself by full name, beginning with Brett Strassel.
Good morning. My name is Brett Strassel with Hedrick Brothers.
Good morning. My name is Sean Burney with Hedrick Brothers.
Thank you. You want to introduce the rest? Now, we have other members in the adjoining room who will be available for the Q&A. May I introduce them?
Yes, please.
We have Eric Himmel, our president, Jack Ulrich, our vice president, and Tony Mish, our dedicated project manager for the project.
And I'm Lynn Mims, president of Mims Construction, the SBE partner.
Thank you. Instructions to the committee. The purpose of this meeting is to select the top-ranking firm to be recommended to the board for an award. Final point awards should not be completed until the close of the discussion period and the public comments have been offered. Committee members should consider the discussion and responses from proposers to the questions raised by the evaluation committee and may consider public comments as appropriate. Committee members should identify the distinctions between the information presented by each proposer in order to differentiate their point awards to the proposer to avoid identical point awards and ties in ranking order whenever possible. Committee members, should you have a question for a proposer, please direct your question to them as the appropriate member may respond. Instructions to proposers. You have 20 minutes this morning for your presentation. I'll let you know when you're down to your last 2 minutes. At that time, we'll conclude your presentation and open the floor up to 20 minutes of questions and answers. I'll begin with Frank and work through the committee alphabetically. If a committee member has a question for you, they will direct it to one of your team members. Please make your answer to their questions brief to allow committee members the opportunity to ask more than one question as time permits. Also, please remember this is not a marketing opportunity for your company. Please state your name before replying to the question. Are there any questions before we begin?
No, we're good.
Okay, you may begin.
Well,
Yeah, no. Wait, Helen, can you stop the timer until we get loaded here? Yes, that one. Share this tab. Share this tab.
Helen, at this point, are you able to see our presentation?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Can you restart the timer, please?
Please begin.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning, and thank you for having us present on Sunset Palms Middle School. My name is Brett Strassel. I'm the Vice President and Project Executive for the project. To my right is Sean Burney, our Director of Pre-Construction Services. In our adjacent room is Eric Himmel, our President, Jack Ulrich, our Vice President, and Tony Mish, the dedicated project manager. Also on video today is Ms. Lindell Mims from Mims Construction, our SBE partner. Now, while we've worked together with the school district for nearly 3 decades, this is obviously a new format for us. So we will abide by the district's guidelines and have the 2-person live virtual format with all parties available for the question and answer period. Now, at this point, many people have worked together with Hedrick Brothers, but I would like to spend a moment and talk a little bit about who we are and what we've accomplished.
People come to us because they trust us. They know that we're going to give them a quality product. They know that we will meet difficult schedules. And they know that we're going to build things that are sustainable and add value for the long term. I've been asked, is this the best team you got? And I got to say, yeah, they're a good team, but we got a bunch of good teams.
All right, so now on your screen is our pre-construction team, headed up by Jack Ulrich. One of the things we want to point out with here is that we have Tony Mish, myself, and Jack. Jack is 75% committed to this project. And the three of us will be on it from the very beginning all the way through into construction, making sure that all the knowledge gained in pre-construction isn't lost once we move into construction. So now we're going to talk a little bit about pre-construction. And who better to talk about pre-construction for Hedrick Brothers and how Hedrick Brothers does pre-construction than Jack Ulrich.
Pre-construction consists of three major components. The first component is reviewing the owner's program, the budget, the schedule, so that we all understand with the team, the architect, the owner, all the disciplines, all the design professionals, as to what it is we're setting out to accomplish. After we get background work laid, the schedule prepared for everyone to buy into so we know where we're going, how we're going to get there, when we're going to get there, we then go into a series of estimates, usually starting with a schematic level estimate and moving on to more information in the design development estimates, and then getting into the construction document estimates, usually ending up with a guaranteed maximum price. We need to review everything that's going to be in the project, make informed decisions, and get to a successful completion. We have never, ever failed to have a successful pre-construction exercise resulting in an acceptable GMP within the design budget and time.
Target Valley design and real-time estimating and continual estimating, they really go hand in glove. And we see a lot of value in that because what we're doing is we're essentially building the project in our minds while the design is occurring. We do this in real time and it provides value.
So our goal in pre-construction is to create a predictable project. And how we do that is by utilizing our virtual design and construction department. We truly believe there's a direct correlation with how successful the project's going to be and how much you invest in your pre-construction. And VDC is truly just one more component of one more thing you can do in pre-construction to ensure you have that predictable project.
So all the services that you see here are being done in-house here in Palm Beach County.
Pre-construction, we would be participating in a peer review, or what we like to call a constructability review. We'll be working with the Hedrick team, especially their BIM or virtual team, with trade contractors that we did not work with before. We'd have a kickoff meetings, and then during the construction portion, we would do things such as window testing, water testing all the windows. We'd go through the plans and specifications, make sure that we understood that everything that translates from the construction documents is implemented in the field.
In the pre-construction efforts, nobody wants to have less than a successful guaranteed maximum price. So we're very diligent to make sure that every step is followed. So it's a secret sauce that we follow over and over and over again. And it's proven to make Hedrick Brothers very successful in the pre-construction market and the construction management industry.
All right, now we're going to talk a little about our SBE process. Hedrick Brothers is currently teamed up with MIMS Construction and Roebling, and we're 100% committed to exceeding your SBE goals.
The value of SBEs is part of our culture. The last 20 projects that we've done, we have had a 38% participation rate. But that's not just on those that we're recording. We're doing it on all our projects. We have 20 or 30 projects going on at any one time, and we are using SBEs on all our projects, regardless of whether it's required or not. It makes for a successful project.
I've been a part of Palm Beach County for the last 20 years. Minority contractors, SBE contractors know me. Palm Beach School District know me. I am committed to this project. I will be an integral part of this committee. I will be Hedrick Brothers and our team liaison to work within the community to ensure that we meet and maximize our participation.
On this project, I'll be working close with Lynn to ensure that our SBE participation is met. We're utilizing Building Connected as our database for advertising bids, along with pre-qualifying bids. So on the same guise of trying to make things easy for subcontractors, we've implemented a subcontractor default insurance program in lieu of getting sub-bonds. And this is a great process for our subcontractors because it allows them to actually go through when they get pre-qualified for us They get to be entered part of that program, and they actually don't have to provide a bond on it. So they're actually able to chase more jobs, more public jobs, by being able to work with us.
Let's talk a little bit about some site-specific issues and logistic issues as it relates to our location and our site. At the onset of every project, we immediately develop a plan, a safe plan. Our trailing indicators to show how safe we've been over our history is our EMR. We have the lowest in the industry at 0.56, with 1.00 being sort of the industry standard. So our trailing indicator gives you a assurance of our safe record. Now, our leading indicators are going through the project, going through logistics, understanding all the OSHA guidelines, understanding the various regulatory guidelines from Alyssa's Law to the Jessica Lunsford Act to the requirements of double barricades, double fencing. And on this project, we talked to a lot of people. We talked to faculty, we talked to parents, we talked to the PTO. And what we really heard about this was the concern for an active elementary school to the north, Sunset Palms Elementary School, and the amount of traffic to the east on Acme Dairy Road. We were told that under no circumstances should we have construction traffic on Acme Dairy Road. So to the south of our proposed site is a road. It's called two different names. It's called the Connector Road and it's called the Bruzo, depending on which map we look at. But what we've done is a single point of entry and a single point of egress, with all traffic exiting the project heading west towards Lyons Road, therefore delineating our construction entrances and exits with that of the existing elementary school, so they're separated at all times. Now, as we continue to roll the video, the other thing that was very important to us was to keep the traffic off of the Connector Road at all times. So one of the things that we've done is the video rolls you'll continue to see now through the cursor. We've developed a loop inside of our job site, and the loop allows all traffic to come off of the Connector Road immediately and be able to stack inside of our gate. Now that's for construction traffic, materials, construction parking, as well as now our COVID check-in station. We wanted to separate, obviously, our entrance from the existing school as far as possible so that our COVID check-in for temperature, health, and wellness of workers and check-in is far apart and separated as possible. Now, as the video continues to go, we'll like to point out again our egress onto the connector heading due west, and that's a one-way exit. So all traffic leaving our site never commingles with that to the east on Acme Dairy Road. Now, as we talked about COVID is something that has come up obviously recently. It hasn't been part of any other presentation, hasn't been part of any construction site we've had in the past. But these are things that we have to adapt to. I'd like Tony Mish to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about how we adapt to a lot of different things on a construction site.
One of the most important stages on any school project is pre-construction. It's vital that the CM works closely with the design team and their engineers to ensure the specifications and drawings meet the owner's expectations. There's been recent renovations in materials that the school district has incorporated into their projects, anywhere from LED lighting to compression fittings on water lines to upgrades and changes in electronics, AVT, and systems to machineless room elevators. All these components are on a constant change, and it's vital that we stay on top of everything. We look to stick to the plan. In my 20-plus years of building schools, not only in Palm Beach County, but Dayton, Broward, I have never gone over a school district budget, and I've always gotten the school open on time. A lot of these projects are multi-million-dollar investments that require a lot of maintenance, and it's our goal to make these buildings sustainable for the future of the kids and for the school district so that their operating expenses are lowered and that they're not faced with an exorbitant amount of cost for the lifespan of the project. Window testing is a given on any school project. I think it's a great test component to the school to ensure that we have a building envelope that stays dry. I take these projects very personal. I look at it as, may sound corny, but I look at the 900 kids that are coming next August as my own. But I always see the goal at the end, and I enjoy actually showing up on opening day when the kids come to the school, and be able to see their faces and how excited they are to have a brand new school that they're going to be able to use and learn.
Now, there has always been a great partnership on construction projects, and that is the relationship of the project manager and the superintendent. Let's take a quick moment to describe a day in the life of a Hedrick Brothers superintendent.
The day in the life of a superintendent. While most of us strive to reach 10,000 steps a day, superintendents on a large Hedrick Brothers construction project average 25,000 steps. Yes, 25,000 steps a day. A superintendent's day begins at dawn. As the first person to arrive, they walk the entire job site, checking safety features and ensuring that the site is ready for work. The gates open. Tradesmen arrive and check in, following CDC and OSHA guidelines. Daily safety and site meetings occur, and then they're off to work. The super is the driving force of a project, responsible for keeping the schedule moving. Every day brings its own set of challenges, and he or she must be responsive, creative, and ingenious. They can swing a hammer if they need to, but their responsibility is to manage all the trades. We build with quality, as if we were the owner, and stand behind our work 100%. The super uses a rolling punch list from the onset of the project, with the goal of 0 items upon completion. The most important aspect of any project is safety. It starts at the beginning and never ends. Our teams are OSHA certified and receive continuous training. We are builders and are committed to safety first and foremost. Let's finish up those 25,000 steps. From dawn to dusk, in the sweltering sun and driving rain, the superintendent is the lifeblood of the project. Hedrick Brothers Construction has a full team of superintendents, all with different backgrounds and experiences. Each and every one is well qualified, well trained, and committed to the safety and quality of the project. We are builders, and we're ready to deliver your next project.
All right, so the next key component to a successful job are subcontractors. And as we talked about previously, we pre-qualify all of our subcontractors, and we have plenty of SBE, MBE, WE subcontractors that are willing and able to join this project. So when we bring a subcontractor on board, our goal is to make sure that they're going to be successful. So we create very clear, concise scopes. We create bid packages that allow multiple subcontractors to be participating on the job. And we sit them down and review with all of our subcontractors to make sure they have a full understanding of the schedule, material availability, workforce requirements, payment requirements, so that they understand how they're going to be successful, and we set everyone up for a very successful project. All right, so now to the fun stuff. How much is it going to cost? How long is it going to take? So in this time where we were waiting for the interview to start, our estimating team dove deep into this project. So we looked over all the project requirements. We partnered with some trusted subcontractors, material suppliers, utilized our historical data, and created a very detailed estimate that we'd be happy to provide for you upon selection. So we can sit here confidently able to tell you that we're going to be able to come in under your $33 million budget and provide you this project at a total student station of $22,594.23. So how long is it going to take? Of course, we're comfortable with this new extended schedule, be able to deliver this project for you on 7/10/2023. What we're most excited about is this additional time here. We're really going to be able to utilize a lot of our pre-construction services, being able to utilize a lot of those tools to ensure that we're creating that predictable project, ensure we're able to solve all those issues up front, and really get off on the right foot and make a very successful project for us.
If we have learned nothing else during these uncertain times, we've understood and learned the importance of community, neighborhood, of local, of helping one another. Hedrick Brothers is the epitome of local. Founded right here in West Palm Beach 41 years ago and in continuous operation to today with a 30-year relationship, a 3-decade relationship with the school district. So why Hedrick Brothers? Our safety record speaks for itself. We feel comfortable and confident that we can meet your budget, exceed your schedule. We have a great team put together. As Dale had said in one of the prior videos, we have many good teams, but this is an exceptional team. We have a great pre-construction staff led by Jack Ulrich, all the VDC technology to put this job together and successfully deliver it for you. And not only are we local, we're your only local contractor. And I'm here to tell you today that we are ready and we want this job.
Thank you very much. Now we'll
We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready.
We're ready. We're ready. We want this job.
We want this job.
We want this job.
We want this job.
We want this
Thank you.
job. We want this job.
We want this job.
We want this job.
We want this job.
We're ready.
We want this job.
Thank you very much. We're going to open the floor to 20 minutes of questions and answers. Frank, would you like to begin?
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great presentation. Definitely, it went pretty smooth. I have a mechanical question. What type of chiller equipment will be used, and why? Either air cool or water cool?
Tony, would you like to answer that question?
School district prefers the
Please
air
state your name. Please state your name.
Tony Mish, Hedrick Brothers. School district prefers on majority of their projects to go with air-cooled chillers. That's their design standard.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Glenn, please.
So I always have the budget and the schedule questions coming to you guys. So you said that you can go under the $33 million budget, which all sounds good. My biggest thing on that is I'd like to look at your student station cost because that's actually a driving force for us on all our schools now, and we don't want to lose any money with the state, any of the tax revenue or anything like that. So can you kind of go through a little bit of how your student station cost is going to be configured and how you're going to be able to keep it at that price?
Go ahead. So on this, we did, hopefully you can see our screen here. So we were able to put together, I'm sorry, Sean Burney, Hedrick Brothers. So myself and Jack Ulrich will be answering this one. We've anticipated a total student station of $22,594. As you can see here on the screen, we did a breakdown utilizing our historical data along with bringing in some subcontractors.
Thank you, Sean. John, please.
Yes, hello, everybody. Yes, of course, I'm very familiar with Hedrick. The one thing I'm not familiar with, Brett, is your experience as being a project exec. I've dealt with Jack in the past as a project exec. Could you tell me your experience as a project exec and any on schools?
Certainly. So I appreciate that. So I've been a project executive and vice president with Hedrick Brothers for the last 5 years. My role as a project exec starts in both pre-construction, helping to oversee budgets, helping to oversee critical items within the budget, target value enhancements, value engineering, working from that through the seamless single point of contact through construction. At that point, we take our project manager, our superintendent, we help oversee them or guide them into our site logistics, the thing that we've understood were important in the project. Right through the management of the project oversight from a financial and a schedule and a quality control aspect. My experience ranges from educational facilities and oversight with universities, with schools, high schools, middle schools, elementary schools, as well as on light manufacturing and industrial projects, all right here in Palm Beach County. My experience ranges for 25 years here in the county, and the last 5 is a project exec and vice president.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions.
Thank you. Patrick, please.
Yes, good morning again. I know you guys, you are committed to increase the participation goal for SBE, but I do want to see more new SBE on your GMP. So what you will do to make this happen?
So Sean Burning, Hedrick Brothers again. So currently right now we have 2 on our CM side. And then as Lynn talked previously, we have an effort, and I'm sure Lynn, you've unmuted so you can chime in here, of how we're going to make this an appealing job for our SBEs, make it an easy job so that they want to participate on this project.
I'll take it. This is Lynn Mims, the SBE partner. Patrick, what we entail doing due to COVID, that we're going to break the bid packages up in smaller bid packages, use a lot of the social media and the Zoom and different Google platforms to encourage minority and SBE contractors. I'll work with them to make sure that their scopes are within what we're looking for, as well as the pre-qualification. We'll be going back to the old fashioned of emails as well as faxes. So we're going to look at what we call displaced workers too. Displaced workers is a program that the state of Florida has embraced, and normally it includes contractors or people or personnel that has been impacted due to the hurricanes, but we're putting COVID in there. So we're going to work with a lot of different organizations to bring on contractors, and we know that a lot of people now are starting their own businesses that came out of being businesses. So we're going to work with your department and with Dickie Sykes to make sure that we can encourage and get a lot of these companies in. We look at long lead bid proposals and bid documents to make sure, and scopes to make sure that we can get people in, because if there's a concrete found contractor and we're looking for work in that and it doesn't bid until January of next year, we will work with you all to make sure that we can get some of those contractors in, and even some new and emerging contractors.
All right, thank you.
Our SDI program also is a great tool that allows the encouragement of subcontractors who, maybe are stretched with their bonding capacity or aren't necessarily able to, get that bond yet. It's when we bring them in and pre-qualify them, we're able to enter them into that program. And like we said earlier, right, they're able to, go work on this project in lieu of having a bond to enter into that program.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Aaron, please. Aaron Howard.
Yep, sorry, troubling with the mic and the mute. I don't have any additional questions at this time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mark Lodge, please.
I don't have any questions. I'd just like to thank Hedrick for the excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Back to my committee, please. Frank, any further questions? I can't hear you, Frank. Do you have any further questions?
Apologies, yes. No, I do not. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Glenn, please.
Yeah, could you guys pull up your schedule slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it went by pretty quick, so I just wanted to double check it and look at it. You have your building finishing out in June of 23 and the final completion of 10/23.
That's
okay. Do you guys see any problems with holding that schedule? I know you said you didn't, but is there anything, even with the way things are going right now, do you have any problems with that as far as like suppliers and stuff like that? I know that we've had a lot of problems with stuff coming from international suppliers. So.
So naturally, Glenn, these are uncertain times. Our obligation at this point is to maintain a schedule, and that's through diligent procurement, looking at long lead items, pre-procuring things that we think could be an issue, looking at international versus domestic products to ensure we make a good decision with the school district, and basically limiting those liabilities. Through that methodology, we've been able to keep our projects on schedule, but it's something that's going to basically take a lot of monitoring, planning, and we think because the extended schedule, due to this delay, that gives us a little bit more time in pre-construction to identify those opportunities and make sure that we overcome any potential hazards to meeting the scheduled dates.
Thank you.
Tony Mish also has a comment to add to that, please.
One thing that the school district uses on all
Louder, please.
I said louder, please.
I'm sorry. One other aspect that the schools use in all their projects is the tilt wall construction. Unfortunately, that system takes a lot of pre-construction, evaluation, and engineering and design, and it would save a lot of time at the beginning of the project to put that incorporated into pre-construction as far as the design and getting the engineers and getting the drawings started and reviewed by building code services instead of waiting until the clock starts and trying to get out of the ground. That should really be incorporated into pre-construction.
And that's something that will help us maintain that overall completion date, looking at those types of opportunities.
Yeah, do you guys also plan on in your pre-construction with site utilities? Tony knows what I'm talking about here as far as our county utility people.
We need water utilities and anybody AT&T ahead of the game to make sure that there's no delays at the end of the job.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. John, please. Further question?
Yes, I do. If you could go back to your GMP slide. I see under site work, you have a phase 1 and a phase 2. And on the schedule, you had a phase 1 and a phase 2. Are they the same phasing?
Say that one more time.
Well, see, on your GMP, you have site work, and
Yes.
you described phase 1 and phase 2. And on your schedule slide that you just showed us, you had phase 1 is the site and phase 2 is the building.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like maybe there's a difference there, but what is phase 1 and phase 2 on your site work?
Yeah, so let me slide over to this guy for you. So the way we looked at it, the phase 1 was going to be the site work associated with the buildings themselves, and then the phase 2 site work would actually then be the play fields and yes, and the parking lot there.
Okay, one other question on the GMP.
Yeah.
What is the credit demucking phase 1 for $1.3 million?
Credit demucking, remember that one, Jack?
So what we did is we looked at historical data, John, for this, and we were able to take a couple of schools, one of which historically data was Gove Elementary, to look at apples to apples. So when we did utilities and we did building pad ready, we had to take a credit for the demucking at Gove Elementary. Take that out as that is not applicable on this job, but that's the best historical data for a similar site that we had, sans the demucking.
Yep.
Okay, I got it. Thanks.
Thank you, John. Patrick, any further questions?
No more questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. Aaron Howard, any further questions? Anything that's come to mind you'd like to ask?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mark Lodge, please.
Nothing, Helen. Thank you.
Okay, is there anything further from the committee for the firm Hedrick Brothers Construction this morning? Hedrick Brothers, any last minute things that you'd like to talk to our committee about? You have exactly 6.58 minutes left.
Well, I think that just kind of in summation, we really believe that we're a phenomenal choice for this. One thing I'd like to add to John Chesh's original question of our experience, there's great continuity within this team. This team has built schools together. if you look at the proposed superintendent, Eric Carlson, myself, Jack Ulrich, and Glenn Armbruster, all of those people worked together 21 years ago for the first time on the construction of Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune Elementary School. So when we talk about our history, you know, there's individual resumes, and then there's those resumes gelling together to form teams. And we really think that's important. Tony and Jack, our proposed VP and project manager, to build schools together. There's a lot of continuity there. They're local. Our children go to these schools. We've got a 21-year history just doing these schools together. And I just wanted to expound upon John's original question as it related to experience. Other than that, we have a great experience with, there was a slide that we had on there with 8 successful projects with Renee Trusilla at Harvard Jolly. We've worked together on schools for over 3 decades. And again, that entire team, the cohesiveness and the experience with one another really lends itself. This is not our first time through this, so we've got great experience there. And in summation, we would like to, we never want to end a presentation without thanking you for this opportunity and to respectfully ask for your consideration and award for Sunset Palms Middle School.
Thank you very much.
Thank you kindly, Helen.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We'd like to ask now all the Hedrick Brothers team members, please, to disconnect from the Google Meet and join via one of the public options if desired.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. To my Miss Mims. Miss Mims, it's time to disconnect, if you wouldn't mind, and join us one of the other public meet options, please. I can't hear you, but you're still with us.
Your mic is still muted.
Pat, can you help me, please? Thank you.
She has to click A.
Hi, Lindell. I think she took care of it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Helen and committee members, I am reaching out to our next firm of Thornton Construction, and they'll be joining us in a minute. So it's probably just going to be just a couple minutes of downtime. Please bear with us and do not leave the meet.
Thank you.